Silence can speak volumes, a notion that might seem paradoxical, especially in our contemporary society where the loudest voices tend to capture our attention. However, consider this: some of history's most influential figures wielded the power of influence without saying a word. This is the core of Stoicism, a philosophy that not only endures but flourishes in our tumultuous modern times. It teaches us the significance of inner peace and the profound impact of our actions beyond words. Today, we're delving into how Stoicism, a philosophy steeped in the wisdom of ancient thinkers such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, can significantly alter your self-perception and how the world perceives you, all without uttering a single word. Whether you're aiming to enhance your personal relationships, elevate your professional presence, or simply seek a deeper sense of tranquility in your daily life, the Stoic principles we'll explore offer practical, actionable strategies that promise profound outcomes. So, if you've ever felt undervalued despite your efforts or are searching for a more authentic way to convey your values and virtues, stay with us. This exploration into the silent yet potent realm of Stoicism could transform how you interact with the world. As always, if you find value in our content, the simple, free favor I ask is for you to subscribe. Let's embark on this journey together. Stoicism, a philosophy that underscores the importance of controlling our reactions and maintaining personal integrity, teaches us that dignity is not about ostentation or pretense. It's about genuine self-respect and the respect we inspire in others through our actions. When we discuss presenting ourselves with dignity, Stoicism guides us toward a demeanor that exudes calm confidence and self-assurance, without the need for loud proclamations of our worth. It's reflected in the way you carry yourself in everyday interactions, from the poise with which you enter a room to the attentiveness with which you listen to others. It's about the firmness of your handshake and the sincerity of your eye contact, signaling your presence and accountability, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. However, Stoic dignity extends beyond mere appearances and social graces. It's deeply rooted in virtue. In Stoic terms, virtue is about aligning your actions with your moral values. It involves being just, courageous, disciplined, and wise in both your private and public life. When you choose to act with integrity, even in difficult situations where compromising your values might be easier, you're practicing Stoic dignity. This can be as straightforward as being honest when you've made a mistake, or as complex as advocating for someone else's rights when it's unpopular or risky. Integrating this into your daily life means making decisions that reflect your true self and your aspirations. It's about being consistent in your values, regardless of the challenges you face. This consistency sends a powerful message to those around you about your principles, fostering trust, respect, and even admiration from peers, friends, and adversaries alike. To live with dignity, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our responses, our values, and to let go of the external noise. This isn't about adopting a facade of toughness or indifference. It's about cultivating genuine self-sufficiency that allows us to gracefully navigate life's highs and lows. Presenting yourself with dignity is about recognizing your worth, valuing yourself enough to live by your principles, and respecting others enough to afford them the same courtesy. It's about the quiet confidence that stems not from external validation but from a steadfast commitment to your ethical standards. This is the essence of Stoic dignity: silent yet potent, modest yet profound. Stoics believe that understanding your intrinsic value isn't about accumulating successes or accolades. It's about acknowledging the inherent worth you possess, independent of external affirmations. This concept is crucial, not just for building self-esteem, but for fostering genuine self-respect and living a life aligned with your deepest values. Now, when we talk about knowing your worth, Stoicism encourages us to look inward. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius often discuss the importance of focusing on what's within our control: our thoughts, our actions, our responses. These are the areas where your true worth is demonstrated. It's not about how much you are praised or criticized, but how you maintain your integrity, manage your responsibilities, and contribute to your community in ways that resonate with your core principles. But how do you practically know your worth in everyday life? It begins with self-reflection. Spend time with yourself, get to know your strengths and limitations, because Stoicism doesn't teach perfection, it teaches improvement. Reflect on how you handle adversity. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you rise to the occasion, learning and growing from each challenge? Your reactions in these moments speak volumes about your character and your worth. Another Stoic practice is to engage with others in a way that reflects your self-respect. Stoics believe in the concept of sympatheia, the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. This means treating others with dignity and respect, which in turn strengthens your own sense of self-worth. When you treat people as you wish to be treated, you affirm your values and demonstrate your worth through your actions. Furthermore, Stoics focus on living virtuously as an expression of their worth. Virtue, living according to wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, is seen as the ultimate good in Stoicism. Therefore, knowing your worth also involves striving for these virtues in all aspects of life, from your personal relationships to your professional endeavors. When you live virtuously, you build a sense of self that is resilient to life's external vicissitudes. Understanding and embracing your worth in this way liberates you from the need for external approval. You no longer chase recognition or fear criticism, because you know your value does not depend on them. This frees you to pursue a life that truly reflects your inner self, a life where you can stand firm in the face of adversity, confident in your worth and secure in your path. Knowing your worth, according to Stoic philosophy, is about aligning your self-perception with your highest ideals and living in a way that consistently reflects those ideals. It's a journey that requires honesty, courage, and ongoing self-assessment, but it's also incredibly rewarding. As you become more in tune with your intrinsic value, you'll find that your interactions and relationships become more meaningful, and your life becomes more fulfilling. This is a profound Stoic practice that goes beyond merely saying no to others. It involves a deep understanding of your personal limits and respecting those limits as a form of self-respect and respect for others. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-mastery, autonomy, and inner freedom, teaches that setting and enforcing boundaries is not just a protective measure but a way to live truthfully according to your values. In Stoicism, much is said about our internal boundaries, how we set limits for our own behavior and thoughts to remain aligned with our virtues. For instance, Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about keeping one's mind focused on what is essential, avoiding unnecessary distractions and emotional turmoil. He believed in controlling his responses to external events, a boundary of the mind that ensures composure and principle, regardless of external circumstances. But how does this translate into our interactions with others? It starts with recognizing that our energy and time are finite resources that need to be managed wisely. Just as a Stoic might guard their thoughts from negativity and despair, we too must guard our time and energy from depleting interactions and relationships. This means learning to say no to requests that conflict with our core duties and values, and not feeling guilty for prioritizing our well-being. Boundaries can also mean protecting your emotional space. Stoics like Seneca emphasize the importance of keeping company that fosters growth and well-being, suggesting we distance ourselves from those who might lead us into vice or distress. In modern terms, this could mean stepping back from relationships that are toxic or overly demanding, choosing instead to spend time with those who uplift and support. But also deepens your relationships, allowing them to flourish on a foundation of mutual respect and authentic interaction. In the world of Stoicism, restricting access isn't about exclusivity or elitism. It's about valuing your own time and mental space. This Stoic practice teaches us the significance of being selective with our engagements and interactions, ensuring that our energy is reserved for relationships that are truly beneficial and aligned with our values. It's about prioritizing quality over quantity in our connections and commitments. The concept of restricting access begins with self-awareness. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize understanding what is within our control and focusing our efforts there. This means conducting an honest appraisal of our lives and determining what truly deserves our time and attention. Are you investing time in activities that nourish your soul and facilitate growth? Do the people in your life inspire you to live virtuously? Stoicism doesn't advocate for isolation from the world, but for carefully tending to our personal garden, nurturing the plants that yield the best fruit. In practical terms, restricting access might involve setting firm boundaries around your time. It could mean choosing not to check emails or social media during certain hours to safeguard your peace in the mornings and evenings, or declining social obligations that deplete your energy rather than enrich it. By doing so, you make each yes you give more significant and ensure that your resources aren't spread thin by things that don't serve you. This principle also extends to emotional and intellectual boundaries. Stoicism teaches us not to let external events disrupt our inner tranquility. Limiting access to our emotional world is a way to maintain this peace. This doesn't imply becoming indifferent or detached, but rather choosing not to engage in dramas or conflicts that disturb your peace. It's about not allowing every external circumstance to affect your mood and mindset. Furthermore, by restricting access, you foster a sense of respect and value for your own time and presence. People begin to recognize that your time is valuable and that your availability is a privilege, not a given. This shift doesn't just change how others perceive you, it changes how you perceive yourself. It reinforces the Stoic belief in self-respect and living a purposeful life. Restricting access is ultimately about making deliberate choices, choosing to invest your time and energy in ways that are aligned with your values and fostering relationships that are genuinely supportive and enriching. This selective approach allows for deeper, more meaningful interactions, as opposed to a scattergun strategy of broad but shallow connections. It's about cultivating depth, not breadth, in your life, a key principle of Stoic philosophy that resonates through the ages. The ability to walk away revolves around the Stoic belief in self-sufficiency. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus stress the importance of being content with oneself and one's moral choices. The idea is that you should never feel so attached to a situation, a job, or even a relationship that the fear of losing it immobilizes you or compromises your values. Having the courage to walk away is about recognizing when a particular aspect of your life no longer serves your higher purpose or aligns with your fundamental values. Walking away is not an impulsive reaction, but a calculated decision that stems from a clear understanding of what is and isn't beneficial for you. It's about setting a high standard for your personal and professional life. For instance, in relationships, this might mean having the strength to end a partnership that is detrimental or no longer contributes to mutual growth. In careers, it might involve leaving a job that suppresses your potential or forces you to compromise your integrity. Moreover, preparing to walk away is also an exercise in respect, respect for oneself and the inherent worth of one's life and choices. It reinforces the idea that you are the ultimate authority over your life and that you have the power to choose environments and relationships that foster growth, happiness, and virtue. It's about not settling for less than you deserve and not clinging to situations out of fear or comfort. Stoicism helps frame this readiness to walk away not as a loss, but as a strategic gain, a step towards greater freedom and authenticity. When you are prepared to leave situations that do not benefit you, you open doors to opportunities that better resonate with your true self. This preparedness to let go also teaches resilience, as it underscores the transient nature of external circumstances and the enduring strength of a well-cultivated inner life. In embracing this philosophy, you assert a quiet confidence and a robust stability, knowing that no external change can fundamentally disturb your peace of mind. This is not about being detached from the world, but about being so firmly grounded in your own principles and sense of self that you can face changes and challenges with poise and dignity. This approach not only leads to a more fulfilling life, but also attracts respect and admiration from others who see in you a person who is not easily swayed by the whims of fortune or fear. In the Stoic view, saying no is not just a refusal but a declaration of independence from desires and influences that do not align with one's core values and virtues. It's about asserting control over one's own life and decisions, which is a fundamental concept in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to be selective about our commitments and engagements to ensure they are in harmony with our principles. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of acting in accordance with one's nature and rational self, which sometimes requires declining requests or opportunities that do not contribute to our moral and personal growth. The ability to say no reflects a commitment to integrity and the courage to stand by your convictions, even when it might be difficult or unpopular. This practice of saying no can manifest in various aspects of life, from simple daily choices to significant life decisions. It involves declining invitations that would lead us astray from our goals, refusing to engage in behaviors that compromise our character, or even stepping away from relationships and environments that are harmful. The act of saying no is essentially an act of self-respect and self-preservation, allowing us to dedicate our resources, time, energy, and attention to pursuits that are truly meaningful and enriching. Moreover, the power of no extends beyond personal benefit. It also sets a precedent for how others interact with you. By firmly upholding your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and what you are willing to accept in your relationships and endeavors. This not only fosters relationships of mutual respect and understanding but also empowers others to consider their own boundaries and the importance of respecting them. In Stoic practice, the power of no is also a reflection of the dichotomy of control, a central tenet that distinguishes between what we can control, our actions, reactions, and decisions, and what we cannot, others' actions, thoughts, and behaviors. By focusing on our own choices and refusing to be influenced by external factors, we maintain our tranquility and freedom from distress. Embracing the power of no is empowering. It's an affirmation of your autonomy and an essential step towards living a life true to yourself. It is not about being negative or uncooperative, but about being intentional and selective, ensuring that every yes you give is thoughtful, meaningful, and in alignment with your true self. This is the essence of living stoically, not merely surviving the storms of life but navigating through them with deliberate and considered choices. This isn't about doubting everything to the point of cynicism. Rather, it's about applying a thoughtful, discerning approach to the world around you, which Stoics believe leads to a deeper understanding and appreciation of life's complexities. Stoicism, as practiced by philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus, teaches that our initial impressions or reactions to events are not always the most accurate or helpful. Instead, they advocate for a pause, a moment to reflect and question, before forming a judgment or taking action. This practice is rooted in the belief that our rational minds are capable of distinguishing truth from falsehood, and that by exercising this capability, we can lead more fulfilling and less reactive lives. Incorporating healthy skepticism into your daily life means not passively accepting every piece of information you encounter. It involves evaluating the source, considering the context, and weighing the evidence before forming an opinion. This is particularly relevant in an era dominated by instant information and frequent misinformation. By applying a Stoic lens, you're not just passively consuming information but actively engaging with it, ensuring that what you accept is, but through deliberate, thoughtful actions. In Stoic philosophy, the act of chasing often indicates a misplaced desire for external validation or a fear of missing out, both of which run counter to Stoic principles. Stoics like Epictetus advise that true peace is found by focusing on our own actions and maintaining our virtue, regardless of external circumstances. By refraining from pursuing things that are beyond our control, we safeguard our inner peace and preserve our dignity. In everyday life, "don't chase" can mean not fixating on whether we are liked or accepted by others, not going to extreme lengths to meet unreasonable demands, or not pursuing goals that do not genuinely reflect our deepest values. It means being at peace with the possibility that things may not unfold as we hope, and trusting that by concentrating on our own actions and reactions, we are staying true to what truly matters. This Stoic practice also teaches us about detachment, not in the sense of isolation or indifference, but in developing a healthy detachment from outcomes. It encourages us to fully engage with life without becoming overly attached to specific outcomes, thereby liberating us from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies our plans and expectations. For example, in relationships, this might mean giving your best to a partnership without rigidly clinging to a preconceived notion of how the relationship should evolve. In careers, it could mean working diligently and passionately without becoming so fixated on a particular recognition or promotion that your happiness hinges on it. The Stoic teaching to not chase is about valuing our contributions more than the rewards we receive. It's about finding peace in the process rather than being obsessed with the result. This approach does not diminish ambition or the pursuit of excellence, but it does redefine success in terms of personal integrity and the peace that comes from knowing you have lived in accordance with your values and virtues. This mindset leads to a life where we are driven not by a need for external validation, but by the fulfillment that comes from knowing we are acting in harmony with our values and virtues. In Stoicism, unconditional love is intricately linked to the practice of acceptance and the understanding that everyone, including ourselves, is part of the natural order, each with our unique flaws and strengths. It encourages us to view others with empathy and compassion, recognizing that, like us, they are also navigating the complexities of life. This kind of love requires us to cultivate patience, tolerance, and a non-retaliatory attitude, even when confronted with anger or hostility. Applying unconditional love in our daily interactions means maintaining a calm and loving demeanor, even when others are not responding in the way we might wish. It involves a commitment to act with kindness and respect towards others, regardless of their behavior or circumstances, which can often challenge our own emotional responses. This does not mean tolerating abuse or neglect. Rather, it means responding to negativity from a place of understanding rather than reaction. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us that our capacity to love unconditionally is a form of personal strength. By detaching our well-being from the actions and responses of others, we gain greater control over our emotional life. This detachment is not about indifference. It's about equipping ourselves to face life's challenges with a steady heart and mind, undisturbed by the changing external conditions. Unconditional love also extends to ourselves. Stoics believe in the importance of self-acceptance, embracing our own complexities and contradictions with compassion and understanding. This self-directed love is crucial because it sets the tone for how we interact with others. When we can accept and love ourselves unconditionally, we are better equipped to offer the same level of acceptance and love to others. Unconditional love in Stoicism is not merely an emotional state, but a disciplined virtue that involves thoughtful consideration, wise action, and a profound commitment to the common good. It's about fostering relationships that are based not on personal gain but on genuine care and respect for the welfare of others. This approach to love not only enriches our personal relationships but also aligns us with the Stoic goal of living a harmonious and meaningful life. Stoicism, with its emphasis on personal virtue and inner tranquility, encourages us to cultivate a life where our happiness and peace are not excessively reliant on the actions, feelings, or approval of others. In practical terms, this means nurturing a life rich with personal goals, interests, and pursuits that exist independently of our relationships. While Stoics value social connections and the roles we play as friends, family members, or partners, they strongly advocate for maintaining personal autonomy and individual paths to virtue. This approach helps avoid the common trap where one's identity and emotional well-being become overly intertwined with another person, which can lead to disappointment and emotional distress if relationships change or challenges arise. For instance, if you derive all your self-worth and purpose from a romantic relationship or a particularly close friendship, you might feel lost if that relationship ever becomes strained or ends. Stoicism teaches us to have a diversified portfolio of meaning and fulfillment. This might include developing a career that resonates with your values, engaging in hobbies that challenge you, cultivating a personal philosophy, or participating in community service that enhances your sense of contribution to the greater good. This Stoic principle also involves establishing and maintaining boundaries that protect your time and emotional energy. It encourages you to say no to demands that undermine your ability to care for your own needs and growth. It's about respecting your own space and time as much as you respect others. This isn't selfishness. It's a form of deep self-respect that acknowledges the need for personal growth alongside the growth of your relationships. Moreover, by not centering your entire life around another person, you foster healthier dynamics within your relationships. Each party brings their own strengths, interests, and perspectives to the table, enriching the relationship rather than making it a crutch for personal insecurities or unmet needs. This balance between togetherness and individuality is essential for any enduring, mutually supportive relationship. The Stoic wisdom of not allowing your life to revolve solely around another person teaches us about resilience. It prepares us to face life's inevitable changes and challenges with a strong sense of self and a robust personal foundation. This readiness not only enhances our own lives, but also makes us better, more present, and emotionally stable partners, friends, and family members. The Stoic commitment to virtue is not just about moral righteousness but about living a life that is deeply fulfilling and resilient in the face of life's changing circumstances. Virtue in Stoic philosophy is the core of a good life. It isn't a set of rigid rules but a guiding principle that shapes how we make choices and interact every day. To the Stoics, virtue consists of four cardinal elements: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom involves the pursuit of knowledge, particularly self-knowledge, and understanding how best to act. Courage is not just about bravery in dangerous situations, but also the moral courage to do what is right, even when it's difficult. Justice involves treating others fairly and acting as a member of a community, respecting the rights and feelings of others. Temperance, or self-control, is about moderating our desires and impulses to live in harmony with our true needs and goals. Integrating virtue into your life means making decisions that consistently reflect these principles. It's about choosing not just what's convenient but what's right. For example, when faced with a tough decision at work or in your personal life, a Stoic would advise choosing the path that best aligns with these virtues. This could mean standing up for a colleague who is being treated unfairly, showing restraint in the face of provocation, or taking the time to help a friend in need, even when it's inconvenient. Living virtuously also means seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. Stoicism teaches that difficulties are not barriers to our happiness, but chances to demonstrate our commitment to our principles. When we face hardships with virtue, we not only overcome them but also deepen our character and resilience. This perspective transforms how we experience life's highs and lows, turning every moment into an opportunity to affirm our values.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive great videos every day from the Quotes of Stoic channel. Goodbye and see you again.